Hello, here we are, waiting for the rapture one more time. Needless to say, it's a very tired meme, okay? And we're all getting tired of waiting, obviously. And the Lord knows that. He knows exactly what we are feeling. He never said, there's going to be a specific time. He didn't say just look up at the sky at night and you'll figure it out. He didn't say look for this feast day or that feast day and take the square root of the distance between, Washington and Jerusalem. Multiply it by the number of wives that Solomon had. Yeah, no, listen, he didn't say any of that, okay? He said, nobody knows the day or the hour, only the Father. The angels don't know, not even the Son of God knows. It'll be a direct order by the Father to usher in the rapture. That's all it is, simple as that. At the same time, God the Father is looking down here and he is hoping to have as many ready for the wedding. He's looking down at his saints down here and he's hoping that their hearts are really set, that they truly love the Lord their God with all their heart, mind, soul, and strength. Okay, they love the Lord Jesus Christ. They can't wait to meet him and associate with him, be his best friend. On and on. He's looking for the bride, not just people who, worship him with their lips, but their hearts are far away from him. Anyhow, I'm beating a dead horse here, obviously. We know that there's going to come a day when the rapture will happen. Two will be in the field, one will be taken, the other left. In the twinkling of an eye. Okay, we know that. Now, I had some thoughts about what I was saying in my previous podcast, if you want to call it that, where I prayed that the dynamic, the confluence of events, the forces that are at play right now politically, do their thing and bring about the result that they're planning. Okay? Well, some people will say, well, Paul, what you're doing is you're one of those people that believes the means justify, or the ends justify the means. If the rapture has to have all this mayhem and warfare and missiles flying, you are asking for this kind of mayhem to happen so that you can have the rapture. And that's a philosophy, of course, that really is abhorrent. The ends justify the means. I'm not thinking in terms of the ends justifying the means. I'm thinking of it in terms of there's a lot of actors here in this world who, no matter what you tell them, how you go about trying to convince them, how you try to educate them, to correct them, to set them on a straight course, they will not heed your advice. So you say to them, oh, you don't want to heed my advice? Go ahead, do what you got to do, and watch the results. That's where I'm coming from. And you think about it a little bit in terms of the Last Supper, where the Lord was sitting with his apostles, and he said, one of them is going to betray me. And they all wondered, well, who is it, Lord? Is it me? Is it me? Who is it? And one of them came to him and said, who would this be, Lord? And he said, it's the man I'm going to give the bread to right now. And who did he give the bread to? Well, he gave it to Judas Iscariot. Okay? And what did he say to Judas Iscariot? In so many words, he told him, go and do what you got to do. And they all thought, oh, maybe he's giving him, orders to go buy some food or whatever. The Lord had foreknowledge of what Judas Iscariot was going to do. He knew that he was going to go and betray the Lord, right, for 30 shekels, right? So Judas Iscariot, having seen all the miracles the Lord performed, having had personal confirmations that Jesus Christ was the Son of God and that he had come down, right, to fulfill his mission, he decided he would be the one to betray him so that Jesus could end up on the cross. And what did Jesus say about Judas Iscariot eventually? He said, it would have been better for this man if he had never been born. Okay? So, no. The ends don't justify the means. But Judas Iscariot had it in his mind to betray Jesus. Why? Why would Judas Iscariot want to betray Jesus? I guess we'll find out in the next life. Was it the money he was after? What was it? The point is that some people, no matter how you try and convince them, educate them, tutor them, lead them in the right path, they have set their mind, they have decided on what they're going to do, and so all you got to tell them is, fine, you want to drive off the cliff? Go ahead, drive off the cliff. See what happens. So that's what I was getting at when I was saying, all these politicians, Trump, Netanyahu, Rubio, Vance, Hegseth, the rest of the horse show in Israel, with the Minister of Defense there, and et cetera, who all want to see Israel become a superpower of sorts. They don't want Iran in the picture. They don't want Hezbollah. They don't want Hamas. And by the way, Hamas at one point was funded by, guess who? Israel. Do your homework. Why did they fund Hamas back in the day? Well, they needed somebody to pose as an existential threat down the line, and then trigger off some kind of a, rebellion, and then call it, terrorism. We've got to get rid of all these Palestinians. They voted for Hamas, and they are evil. So Netanyahu, summons up Amalek. Everybody has to die. And they're still killing people there. They're killing everybody. Aid workers, doctors, children, mothers, they don't care about nobody. Okay, so Netanyahu and all the rest of the puppets, Satan's puppets out there, including Trump, oh, he has got to be one of the biggest puppets there is. They have set their mind to do a certain thing which will be absolutely criminal. It will be the most heinous crime against humanity, and yet they are going to go ahead and do it. I mean, it's going to make Hiroshima and Nagasaki look like a cakewalk. They want to get rid of all of Iran. What did Trump just say? Huh? He has given orders that should he be assassinated by Iran, he's going to unleash thousands of missiles on Iran. He wants to completely wipe off the map Iran. Totally devastated. That's Trump. The mobster mentality. Are you people paying attention to the news? That was one of his posts on his Truth Social. He says they're going to be hit so hard like they've never ever been hit before. It'll come down like rain. Well, maybe that's when the rapture happens then. And isn't it interesting? I think there's an episode in The Simpsons that predicts that Trump will be killed in 2026. They show him in a coffin. Predictive programming or what? Are the controllers at the very top scheduling some kind of an event like that? I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. I mean, they sure had it in for JFK. Huh? And they made it appear like, oh, it was Harvey Oswald, you know, who did this. You know, Harvey Oswald, yeah, right. Long story short, it was all pre-planned. And something is being pre-planned here, too. You know, the masses are deep in sleep. They're under the ether. You know, they're being entertained with circuses and fed bread just to keep them going, you know. But at the end of the day, they never see it coming. I've been around long enough to realize that there's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on out there in the world. There's a lot of stories being told about how organizations were founded, etc., etc., religions were founded, how this happened and that happened. All a bunch of bunk to make people believe. And then people find the truth, and if they find the truth, they're labeled terrorists. Whistleblowers are terrorists. They have no place on this planet, right? All right. I don't know what's happening next with Iran. They're still trying to play by the book, conform to conventions, protocols, UN Security Council dictates, rules, regulations. They want to appear like they're being the civilized people that they have been for centuries, millennia. But at some point, something's got to give. You know, I mean, Persia at one time did try to invade Greece. There was no United Nations back then. And Greece likewise invaded Asia, and so did Rome. And I mean, we could go on and on. The point is, they have to look out for themselves, because this is not going to go down very well. And maybe they'll have Russia and China back them. Maybe China is waiting on the sidelines until the U.S. is completely exhausted, and then they'll jump into the fray and totally obliterate the United States. And Europe, perhaps, too. Who knows? Stay tuned. Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it. Appreciate people who really, really have their hearts in the right place. As you can see, I'm not trying to be a celebrity here. My face is not being projected for any kind of accolades or acclaim or any kind of honors or fame. I'm just here voicing what I have in my heart. And at 73, you know, it's good to exercise your brain once in a while. Especially if you're in a little small town and you live in a van and you have nobody in your life except the Lord. And he and I, we sure do get along. All right. God bless you all.